Good afternoon and welcome to Grand Final Day on the Gold Coast. Gold Coast District and Rugby Union competition, and today's first grade competition between the Griffith Uni Knights and the Helensvale Hogs. Should be a tremendous game today. These two clubs have gone well throughout the season, and Grand Final I'm sure will be a close game. Fantastic sides, and before these two sides run out, I'll read through the team lineups from both clubs. So starting off with the Griffith Uni Knights, prop we've got Leslie Semi and Tarina McLean, and hooking Caleb Kingy, locks Seb Gallagher and Kerrod Martirella. Breakaways on the side, Harrison Cumming and Tyson Uri. Number 8 Jay Patton and captain. Number 9 halfback Cam Dodd, Richard Kingy at fly half, Caddison Graham at 12, Josh Javier at outside centre. On the wings we've got Blake Griffin and Taniela Tuivanova, and at fullback Connor Kennedy. For the Helensvale Hogs at prop, Whitney Satine and Jade Brunston. Hooking is Frankie Kawana. The locks are Andrew Caneen and Matthew Fifield. On the side of the scrum is Sean Finnegan and Steve Finnegan. Number 8 is Willie Hunga. Halfback Scotty Stokes. Number 10 fly half Jason Young. In the centre is Willie Todd, playing his 50th first grade game today. Congratulations, Willie. Outside centre Jack Finnegan. On the wings we've got Taylor Pearce and Taz Tarima. And at fullback Hayden McCaw, the captain of the Helensvale Hogs. Refereeing the game today, we've got Nathan Welsh out in the middle and refereeing the game, and supported his assistant referees today will be Simon Scoble and Will Evans. So looking forward to a really good game here today with these two clubs. A lot of experience through their coaching ranks too, with the Griffith Uni Knights being coached by former Tongan international Johnny Nagamo, and assisted by Curtis Smith, Richard Kingy and Matt Peterson. Yes, that's Sideshow Bob Matt Peterson, if anyone's wondering. Come over to the right side of the fence after many years with Rugby League. And for Helensvale, Tony Vaya is the head coach, assisted by Pierre Holler, another Tongan international, and Chad Maxwell. So here we go, and here we have the Griffith Uni Knights coming out first, the minor premiers, the Griffith Uni Knights, and club champions this year. So a big congratulations to the Knights on a hugely successful year, taking out the club championship and the minor premiership in first grade. And here come the Hogs as well. They've got a pretty long tunnel to come through here. The Hogs, plenty of support as you would expect. Really good family club. Everyone loves the boys in blue. And so they've come out the other end, and we'll just wait now for the field to clear a little bit, and we'll be having the national anthem before this game kicks off. Here at Bond University today, Justin Huntington with you. A beautiful Gold Coast day, about 26, 27 degrees. Pretty warm out there for the boys. But Grand Final day, you couldn't ask for much more, and thanks very much to Bond University for hosting us here today. Field's in immaculate condition, just really, really tremendous surface on this ground. And it's nice and dry, so it should be a pretty fast game of rugby here today for our grand final. So we're just about to have the national anthem. Not sure if you heard that, but the anthem's going to be sung by Lauren Taylor. She's representing Livingston Christian College. Just waiting on the start of the anthem now. So filming from the western side of the on University grounds today. I'm looking back at the clubhouse, and a pretty good crowd in for grand final. You see on the left hand side the Knights supporters in their black and red, and on the right hand side of that stand the blue of the Helensvale Hogs. Thanks very much, Lauren. Wonderfully received national anthem there, and so we're going to be ready to get underway. For those interested in results from the other grades from today, third grade, the Coomera Crushers took it out over the Griffith Uni Knights 10 points to 7 in an absolute thriller. I thought it was going to go into extra time, but the Coomera Crushers hung on for a 10 to 7 win. And in second grade, a reserve grade, the Hogs got up 20 points to 13 over the Griffith Uni Knights. And again, a really close, tremendous, exciting game of rugby. So here we are, about ready to start. Grand final, first grade, Helensvale Hogs in the blue strip running left to right versus the Griffith Uni Knights in the black strip running right to left. Referee Nathan Welsh blows time, and Scott Stokes kicks off with a beautiful kick there. And that's going to be taken by Stevie Moore. By the looks of it, he's starting Steve Moore. Jamie Walker, I should say. Here comes Stokes. Alzara, Stokes calling his players around to the left-hand side, looking for a runner, but they've come through there, the Knights, and there'll be a penalty. Referee Welsh just playing advantage for the moment. Stokes fires it out. Out it comes. There's Willie Todd, the 50-game player there for the Hogs, taken to ground. So Stokes is going to look and still keep coming down this side. Puts it out to his number 8, Willie Hunga. Stokes gets it out again, and there's, looks like Finnegan. Jack Finnegan there in the 13, and he's still pushing his legs, and he's got a good run there, Jack Finnegan. So Stokes at the back. His players have overrun him, and actually Jamie Walker's pushed him over there. So Hogs are rolling forward here. Stokes at the back. Just asked for one more forward to roll off the back, but Welsh is coming back to the previous infringement for the offside. And Scott Stokes will step up and try and wheel off a bit of territory. No, Hayden McCaw will actually end up going to take a shot for goal. So the captain, Hayden McCaw, heart and soul of the Helensvale Hogs club, will take this penalty kick. And as I say, not a lot of wind at this stage. Slight norwesterly breeze. So lining up with his left boot here, Hados McCaw. No doubt we'll be having a shout out to all the McCaws back in Nelson, New Zealand. No doubt tuning in to watch Hayden lead his beloved Hogs in the grand final here today. Steps in, and he's pushed it wide there. and taken there by the Knights, and that is unfortunate there. Didn't quite get onto it there, McCaw. So, and the Hogs have still got it. It was a little bit scrappy by the Hogs, but they've managed to hang on to it. So Scott Stokes at the back, and he's looking for, it looks like Frank Kawana there. Off the side of the scrum there. So Hunga off the side. Stokes again to Finnegan there. Andrew Canoon, was it? There's number 5. There's Matthew Fifield going forward. Tremendous lock he is. So at the back here, Frank Kawana. But he's been well taken there by the Knights. Scott Stokes looking at coming this open side here. So 6 is Sean Finnegan. And they looked as though they were coming in from the side there, the Knights, but referee has allowed it to go on, and the Hogs have rolled forward. Scott spins it out this side, passes it out. Finnegan with a big fend, but they've managed to get around him. He's gone to ground, he's lost the ball, and the Knights have picked it up and they're having a bit of a run. The Hogs have fallen off them. So this ball is going to be taken by McCaw, who puts a boot onto it and looking to follow it through there. McCaw is going to be forced back there by the 15, Connor Kennedy, for the Knights. He passes it back to Richard King. He'll restart the game from the 22. So down in Knights territory, and Richard Kingy gets a good boot on that ball, and he's gone up over. It's going to be taken by the winger Taylor Pearce, I believe, back there. Up, big midfield bong by the Hogs, chased by, and Richard Kingy's taken it beautifully there and popped it back, but it's come over to the Hogs, and they're in retained possession, and Scotty Scotes has popped it up over the top. They've got players running through, but unfortunately looks like it's gone out on the full, so we'll come back here for a Knights. So no, we're not. We're going to come back to the original infringement. So going to be a Hogs scrum here. So still 0-0 here. Nearly 6 minutes into the game. Hogs on the attack with this scrum, 15 metres inside the Knights half. Stokes feeds it, out it comes, out it gives it to his 10, that's Jason Young, into Billy Todd. That's a good bit of bustle there from the Hogs. They're continuing the pressure on he's Young again. He's put a beautiful little ball up over the top, and Connor Kennedy has taken a mark down there, and that's really nicely done by the Knights fullback. He's already had a bit of a run around today in second grade, Connor Kennedy, and he's been bustled and forced to kick it. So here's Tassie Jones for the Helensvale Hogs, and he just goes straight ahead as he does. Stokes is it out. A little dummy there from Jamie Walker. He's gone through. Stokes back of the ruck. He's gone out to 13 to Finnegan, and he's just got a lovely little boot there. But that's going to find touchdown there, very close, probably 5 or 10 metres off the Knights try line. So Hogs on the attack still, and that's a good result for the Helensvale Hogs. Down the shadows down in this corner of the field. So Caleb Kingy throwing into the line out there, and it's caught at the back there, maybe by Kerrod Martorella, popped up and over, and that was unfortunate for the Hogs. I think that's Taz Tarema out there who went to try and catch the ball but missed it, and it went into touch. That's a real shame. So the Knights are going to feed into this line out here, just a bit over halfway into Hogs territory. Kingy throw in, well won in the middle there from the 6. Harrison coming for the Knights. That's Taniela Tuivanova, and he's just bouncing through. Taniela taken to ground now. At the backhand, Dodd spins it out. Oh, that's strong defence there. But good work. Dodd gives it to Jay Patton. That's another really good run to come back for the Hogs. It looks as though there's a knock on there from the Knights, and knock on both ways, and so we'll have a scrum here. I believe it'll be a Hogs feed into this scrum. Couple of good forward packs here. Been pretty solid all year and pretty consistent, both of these sides. Big strong front rows, tall locks and flankers that are smashing attacks all over the park. So Stokes feeds it out, and Young has got it on there, and Connor Kennedy has caught it beautifully there, but he's taken well and a lovely tackle from the Hogs, and they're trying to roll over the Hogs, and they are. Looks like they've rolled over, but no. Oh yes, and they have. They've got the advantage, the Hogs. They've done extremely well. So they're bustling the Knights here, the Hogs. There's a little bit of niggle here. Boys getting a little bit carried away. A bit excited on grand final day. Fair enough too. It's all or nothing today. So congratulations to Jay Patton, the Griffith Uni Knights number 8 and captain, winning the Gold Coast Best and Fairest Award, the Bob Sinclair Medal, through the week at the District Awards night. Really well deserved, very popular guy, has some excellent rugby. So the Hogs have punched down into the Knights 22, and I've got a line out here. Frankie Kawana will be throwing in. And they've gone up the back, and that's won cleanly from the Hogs, and they're going to try and roll forward here. They're doing well. And it's come back, and Stokes is going to spin it out. It's Young giving it on to Willie Todd. He's caught in the middle there by Kingy and Caddison Graham maybe. So going down that side, Scott Stokes into the shadows, and Hayden McCaw is putting a bit of a step on. He's been taken there. So Stokes at the back. Oh, but they've coughed it up, the Hogs. And yes, there's been a knock on. It looks as though the Hogs, the first knock on there, and so the Knights will get the feed into this scrum. So interesting path to get here. The major semi-final, the Knights absolutely smashed the Dolphins 41-0. And then the following week, the Hogs had a very close affair against the Dolphins to earn their spot into the grand final. A 10-7 win over the Dolphins. The Hogs made their way to this grand final and clearly giving it a really good shake today against the Knights. So down the blind side they go, and Dodd gets it out to Tuivanovu, who's very evasive and very difficult to tackle. Clearly he seems to beat at least the first or second tackle every time. Good defence from the Knights, and again as from the Hogs, and they're really bustling. So out it comes out wide. And that pass has gone all the way over Blake Griffin's head. Unfortunately, he had no chance of getting that. The speedster on the wing for the Knights. But we're coming back across for a Knights penalty. Not sure what that was for, whether that player was offside in his defence. Anyway, the Knights take the penalty, and Kingy finds touch a couple of metres into Hogg's half. So Caleb Kingy will throw into this line-out. And the Knights will look to mount a raid. Caddison Graham at 12, Josh Avere at 13, and Blake Griffin out in the wing here at 14. Three very potent backs the Knights have got here. Big, strong boys. Plenty of pace. And with a master playmaker in Richard Kingy on the inside of them, being able to put them through holes and set up their attack. It's a very, very dangerous backline the Knights have got here. And equally, the Hogs have got some real class through their backs as well. And Scotty Stokes probably the best pass of any halfback in the competition this year. Finnegan boys always in the mix, and we're talking about quality players. Hayden McCaw, obviously world class. Willie Todd, consistent first grade player, playing his 50th, so really high quality backlines on both sides today. So we've got the scrum to pack here with Stokes to feed it in, and there's a good shove there by the Knights, and they've really put it on the Hogs, but the Knights look as though they're going to get possession here. That was a very good push in the scrum there from the Knights. They're coming back here. So the Knights have got the penalty, and they'll continue pushing downfield. Still got 0-0 on the scoreboard. It is a really close game here today. Just about coming up to 15 minutes. Richard Kingy, the beautiful kick downfield, and gee, look at that. To be 10 or so metres outside the Hogs try line, and pressure will be on now for the Helensvale Hogs. Caleb Kingy looking to throw in here. Throws in, and they've won it there, and the 6 is Harrison Cumming. That's a really nice line-out win there for the Knights. And they've pushed over, they've scored there, and gee, that's a good try from the Griffith Uni Knights. My goodness, that's a tremendous try. Not much was going to stop them there, and they rolled on very quickly, and before the Hogs could set themselves and try and put up any defence to that rolling maul there. That's a very, very good try from the Griffith Uni Knights. Thanks very much to our sponsors today, Bond University, BLK, the Win Network, Wallstrom Financial Services, Bond University Rugby Club, Radio Metro, Synergy Video, TFH Hire, Urbis, and All Sports Travel. Wonderful culmination to the season, playing here at Bond University, playing our grand finals here, and acknowledgement must go out to Kim Bending, the chairman of Gold Coast District Rugby Union, and his team of directors. They're all volunteers and work tirelessly throughout the year to try and make this competition as enjoyable as it can be for everyone, and that conversion has hit the post, so the score will remain at 5-0 to the Knights. Yes, the board of the Gold Coast District really do a fantastic job, and hats off to them. Thank you very much for all of your effort. So Stokes restarts here. Blake Griffin catches the ball, and he's taken pretty solidly there, Griffin. Taken to ground, and the Knights looking to throw it back, so Dodd spins it out to King, and he just pops it up. So Dodd spins it out to Kingy again. Kingy gets it onto his right boot, and he's got a good kick on it there, but taken by Hayden McCaw at the back. And he's putting a little kick on, but he's stopped dead a little bit there. Just ran into the back of a couple of Knights players, and they stopped his progress, but they're going to keep going here, and this is play on, but yes, and the Knights have regathered, and there's a try, and that's against the run of play, and really caught a few people napping there. I don't think anyone knew what was going on, and the Knights have skipped away and scored a great try there. That was tremendous ball control too from the Knights player. Josh Javier possibly down that right hand side. Tremendous footwork to tap it forward and regain possession and hold on to it and get over the try line. So that's the second try to the Knights and brings their total to 10 with a kick to come, and the Hogs 0. And so King will be lining up this kick from the sideline. Pretty tough kick, but the wind might help him a little bit here. So good try from the Knights there. A reward for effort. They never gave up, never stopped. They played to the referee's whistle. He certainly did that. And didn't get blown, so he was well within his rights to continue rolling forward and scored that try. So Kingy comes in and he's missed that one. It looks like he's pushed that one out to the right hand side of the post, Kingy. So score remains at 10 all. 10 points all to, 10 points to 0. The Griffith Uni Knights. So Scott Stokes is going to restart again here, coming down this side, and that's a good kick up there. It's going to be contested by the Hogs, but they've got it back. Taz Jones is going to have a run here, and he'll run straight at whoever he can find, and he found the shoulder of Jay Patton there, but they've popped the ball over, and the Knights have got it on the boot there and are looking for a touch, and a wonderful touch finder there, about 15 metres into the Hogs territory. That's a tremendous kick there from the Knights. Frank Kawana throwing into this line, well taken in the middle there. Caneen it was in the middle. Stokes spins it out, and he's taken really strongly there, and that looked like the Finnegan boys. But Stokes has thrown it straight into Tuivanova's hands. Fortunately, he's knocked on. Otherwise, the Hogs were staring down the face of another try. No catching him, no catching Taniela in the speed machine. A shout out to everyone who isn't able to make it to the game today and who's around home and having a grand final party, and got Facebook up on the big screen. Hope you're enjoying it. Close game so far, and so this scrum will pack, and Scotty Stokes will feed it and see what we can we can come up with out this side. So we might even look, but the Hogs have got a penalty here. I'm not sure what's going on there. The Hogs will get the penalty, and no doubt will look to get a kick on and get it up over into Knights territory, but we've got an injury here. One of the Knights players, as a result of that scrum, has stayed on the deck, and it's Leslie Semi, actually, one of the prop forwards for the Knights, who's down, holding his neck. So hopefully he's all right. Big Tarina McLean bringing his propping partner mate over a drink of water out of the front rowers club. He's up again, Leslie, so that's really good to see, and seems to be walking okay. Hopefully he's alright, but certainly good to see the big fella up and about. So Hogs penalty, and Scott Stokes will look to make some territory here and get this downfield. And he's pushed it maybe five or so metres over the halfway line into Knights territory. And so Hogs will be thrown into this line out. The backs are lined out nice and deep, ready for an attacking raid. So Kawana throws in, and it goes up the back, and that's Jamie Walker at the back. Stokes at the back of the ruck and fires it out. Beautiful ball out to Young, pass it on, and Hunga has had the ball knocked out of his hands there. So the Knights are on attack, and Kingy plays a little ball, gives it to 12, he gives it to Harrison Graham. Taken pretty strongly, the Hogs are bustling. Cam Dodd puts it over. It's a really nice kick there from the Knights halfback. And that's cleared beautifully out there from Taz Tarima. It's a lovely clearing kick there from the Hogs winger. That's still not a bad result for the Knights. They'll get this line out just outside, maybe 5 metres or so outside the Hogs 22. So on the attack here, the Knights lined out wide, and they've won the ball cleanly. Out it comes Kingy. Lewis gives Caddison Graham, splits him, gives it to Havia, but Havia's been taken in the middle. They've gone over the top. Richard Kingy goes in to halfback, pops it up, but he's missed his runner, who was Jay Patton. They've gone in and cleared out there. Cam Dodd at the back, out to Leslie Sammy. He's taken pretty solidly in the middle there. Dodd brings it out to Kingy. Kingy's right over the top, but his kick has been taken, tapped by the Hogs and taken by Tassie Jones. And the Hogs retain possession, and they've got the advantage anyway, the Hogs, and they've got a penalty. So Stokes comes over to take this penalty kick. Peel off some territory. And it looks like a pretty good kick there. He's taken it. Or 13 metres into Knights territory. So Frank Kawana throws in, taken well at number 4 by Caneen, and it looks as though Knights have knocked on, so Hogs will get the advantage here, and we'll be having a scrum. Knights to feed, Hogs to feed, I should say. Starting to be a few frustrations bubbling to the surface here on both sides of the park. A little bit of niggle coming in. Hogs have got the Grand Poobah of niggle and Jamie Walker on their side. And I say that in good faith. He's a tremendous fella. He knows how to get under the skin of the opposition. So Stokes spins it out to Young, to Willie Todd. He spins it out to Rima, puts it on the boot. It's going to be cleaned up by Kennedy, who brings the kick back on it. And he's looked to go deep, and he's got a good kick on it there, Connor Kennedy. And it's beaten Taz Tarima into touch, and the Hogs will have their line out down here just outside their own 22. Just thanks again to the sponsors, Bond University, BLK, Win Network, Wallstrom Financial Services, Radio Metro, Sydney Synergy Video, TFH Hire, Urbis and All Sports Travel. Oh, big run in the middle there, and that's a tremendous run. That's really unfortunate. Billy Hunga was on the burst, but yes, unfortunately Sean Finnegan just couldn't keep his hands on that ball. It popped off his chest, I think. Unfortunately, that's a real shame. So we're going to have a night scrum. And by the looks of things, starting to get a few replacements starting to warm up over the far side of the field for both sides. We're just coming up to the half-hour mark of the first half here of our grand final. First grade grand final in Gold Coast District. There goes Jay Patton, and he's had a great run off the back of the scrum there, Jay Patton. Richard Kingy spins it out to Josh Havia, and he's dangerous, Havia. He's got a big fend and popped the ball on the inside, and that's tremendous. Backing up, and there's a great try for the Knights. Daniela Turvanova scores another one. There's a tremendous try. There's the third try for the Knights. And there's a really tremendous try there from the Griffith Uni Knights. Beautiful set play. And Josh Havia, such a strong runner out there. And popped it up to his centre partner, Caddison Graham, who then found Taniela Tuivanovu to finish it off, who still had a bit of work to do, the Knights winger, but finished beautifully and scored a lovely 5-pointer for the Griffith Uni Knights. Richard King will line this up to try and convert, and he does so, and will bring the score to 17 points to the Knights, 0 to the Hogs. Three tries to the Knights now. Only one of them converted. So Knights coming back up to restart here. Scott Stokes will be restarting the game. And down this side, Finnegan, and looks like, Matthew Pfeiffer just missed there, the Hogs player. Blake Griffin lucky to not get hit there. Out the middle to Rena McLean. So Dodd out to Kimmy. A little bit of a juggle, allowing them to come up on Caddison Graham. There's Josh Havia, and he hasn't been put to ground. Havia, he's still going. Really need to get your arms around him. Back to Kingy, who puts a kick on it, and he's looking for a bit of turf, but it sits up beautifully there for Hayden McCaw. The Hogs captain, he's put a kick up and over, and he's following it through, and no one wants it. Oh yes, Havia's taken it now. So out it comes, Jay Patton, out it comes. And the flankers passes it over to Blake Griffin, and he's got pace. They need to get him. Strong boy. That's good work by the Hogs. Taylor Pearce there from the Hogs making a good tackle on his opposite number. A bit of a hug there, boys. Good man love. So we're going to have the game pulled up here. Looks like a bit of careless effort there from the Hogs. Jamie Walker just couldn't help himself there. And we're going to have a report here from the assistant referee. And you can throw punches at 10 metres or so away from the ref there, Jamie, and not get caught. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. If anyone's going to be leaving the field for a little bit of a spell on the naughty chair or not. And he's been pointed out there, and he'll be called over for a chat. Jay Patton, the night skipper, being told to go away. That's a shame. A shame about this. This would be unfortunate if the Hogs lost a player for some amount of time, but you've got to have discipline, particularly in these big matches, these grand finals. So referee having a chat with the Knights players. So a chat with Captain Jay Patton. Oh, and someone's got a red card here. So I'm not sure what's going on, but by the looks of things, as the Niners, Cam Dodd been sent off, as has Jamie Walker from the Hogs. So both teams going to be down to 14 men for the remainder of this game, and it is the Knights half who looked as though he copped a few from Jamie Walker. Didn't see what started it, so something must have gone on though, because the Hogs have got the penalty, and Scott Stokes will look to kick it down deep into Knights territory. But yes, we're going to have two less players on the field now, 14 aside, one down on each side. Cam Dodd missing, and Jamie Walker. Cam Dodd from the Knights and Jamie Walker from the Hogs. So that's not a bad kick there from Scotty Stokes, and takes it 15 metres down into Knights territory. Kawana to throw into this line out, be looking to find the big man in the middle. Is it number 4 up the back? No, it's going to be in the middle, and that's really nicely taken by Finnegan. Out it goes to Willie Todd. He's taken solidly in the middle there by Richard Kingy. Stokes gets it out, and it's been intercepted by Josh Havia, and he's got pace. They're not going to catch Havia. The number 1 sausage maker in Australia has scored a try in the grand final, and congratulations. Beautiful try. Beautiful try to the Knights outside centre. And so Knights on 22 now, Hogs 0, with a kick to come. Richard King is getting the ball here and setting up the conversion. See if I can convert that try. So they've scored 4 tries now, the Knights. And he slotted it, Kingy. That's really well done. So bringing the score to 24 points to the Knights, 0 to the Hogs. Hogs going to bring it back here and look as though they'll be coming down this side of the ground with the kick-off. Scott Stokes to kick off for the Knights. 35 minutes into this first half in the grand final. Stokes restarts, and that's a good kick, and Connor Kennedy runs forward to take it, and he's beaten a couple of defenders, pops it up to Leslie Semi, taken by the number 5 Matthew Fifield from the Hogs. So Kingy is going to pass off the back. He's going to have to move into halfback duties by the looks of things with Cam Dodd gone. And Hogs have got a penalty here, and that'll be interesting to see because Kingy is obviously their key man at fly half for directing traffic and organising play out there. So having him move into halfback will be interesting to see how it affects the Knights. And that's a beautiful kick from Scotty Stokes. He's found touch down deep in the Knights 22, and it looks like we're going to have some replacements, or Hogs are most a replacement. And this looks like Whitney, is it? Whitney Satine. Big Whitney Satine for the Hogs, come on. And with the absence of Jamie Walker, it's as though they've taken one of the locks off, have they? So Kawana throwing in, beautifully taken at the back there. Tassie Jones finds Kawana again, and they find Willie Todd on the burst, but he's been tackled pretty soundly there by the Knights. Stokes pops it out, and it's out to Finnegan. He's rolling forward, he's trying to go forward. Stokes, and there's Whitney Satini. He's close, but they're going to have to keep rolling on here, Hogs. They're very, very close, the Hogs, and there it is. Oh, he's picked up at the back there by Finnegan. And it looks as though they've scored, the Hogs. Well done, didn't see who went in there, but they've scored a try. They've rolled off the back of the ruck there, the Hoggies, and got one on the board. So, congratulations. Gets 5 points on their on the scoreboard. Oh, score tried by Steve Finnegan, one of the 3 Finnegan boys out there for the Hogs today. So good effort there and good work from the Hogs, good result. Getting over the chalk, and will do wonders for the confidence, I think. Hayden McCaw, Hogs captain, lines up, and he snuck it in between and converts the try. So it brings the score to 24 points to the Knights, 7 to the Hogs. The Knights will come back last couple of minutes of this first half. 24-7 to the Knights. Jay Patton just having a chat with referee Welsh, just getting some clarification on a few things. Richard Kingy steps up to restart the game here. I noticed that Richard Kingy was coaching the Griffith Uni Knights women's under-17 sevens team. Really heavily involved in the club he is, and aren't they fortunate to have someone of his experience being able to share some of that experience with players, both the men and the women. Having represented at the highest level, Richard Kingy, a Rebels player, Wallabies, Australian Sevens, decorated career, now plying his trade here on the Gold Coast and with the Griffith Uni Knights, and having to move into halfback here after the halfback was sent off for the red card earlier. One well there in the middle. That's really well done by Kerry Martorella. 12 is Cadison Graham. He's been caught in the middle there. But the ball's been dropped, and I think the Hogs may have it, have they? No. Knights still retain possession, so Kingy gets it out to Tarina McLean. He's taken the middle there. Bit of a clear out. Kingy out to Kennedy. Taken in the middle there. And being pushed back. Good defence there from the Hogs. Kingy, out it comes. And there's Caddison Graham there, being taken in the middle. So Knights setting up and looking to see what they're going to do. Kingy's going to come down this side, and there's 5. And that's Kerrod Martorella having a bit of a run down this side. So Kingy passes it again. That's a good ball out to Seb Gallagher, who rolls it forward there for the Knights. Kingy out to Semi. Jay Patton getting around him and giving him a bit of support. So recycled here, and Kingy comes down this side. Martorella gets taken. So it was Seb Gallagher. If that was Tyson Uri or Harrison Cumming, one of the flankers there having a bit of a dig, but got caught. So Jay Patton managed to hang on to it, and that's really well done from the Knights skipper there. They're rolling forward, the Knights. Pick and go, but up it comes to the Hogs. And McCaw's put it up in the air here, and he's fearless, Hayden McCaw, in the way that he attacks the high ball. And unfortunately, Connor Kennedy looks to have come off second best there after that challenge for that high ball. And there's a kick there that's found touch, and Blake Griffin has let it go into touchdown here. But yes, unfortunately, Connor Kennedy still on the ground, and back play came off second best with that charge with Hayden McCaw. And here he goes, Hayden McCaw down that side, and there's no one in front. The crowd's been lit up, but they're on the attack, the Hogs, and out it comes. There's number 4, that looks like Canine, and they've got numbers galore out here, but they're going to have to come back. Something's happening back there. But there's injuries everywhere, unfortunately. And, a few of the Knights players, but there's a Hogs player down over there, and hopefully he'll be okay. It's not looking good with a stretcher on its way out onto the field. And we hope everything's okay. I can't see who it is. And it's Hayden McCaw, unfortunately, the Hogs skipper, who's down there after that charge. Gee, what a couple of minutes that was. In the middle of the field, Connor Kennedy, the Knights fullback and tremendous player he is, came off second best after that challenge with Hayden McCaw at the back there in the high ball, and he's leaving the field. As is, by the looks of things, the number... Is that the number 4? 6. For the Knights, Harrison Cumming looks as though he's coming from the field too, not in very good shape. Thoughts are with Hayden McCaw here. Very quick to come out with the stretcher, showing great concern for the Hogs captain here. So I really hope everything's okay. No, the Knights flanker Harrison Cumming is okay, and is going to be rejoining his team there, so that's good news for the Knights. I'd certainly miss him on the side of the scrum. The 24/7 here to the Knights in the Gold Coast and District first grade grand final for 2019. Justin Huntington here with you. And, thanks again to everyone who's tuning in at home, whether here on the coast or elsewhere in the state or around Australia or overseas. Really appreciate everyone tuning in and posting their thoughts and cheering on their teams and so on and so forth. It's been a wonderful year, and the coverage of these Gold Coast games has been really well received across the board. And so thanks to the clubs for their participation, to Gold Coast and District Rugby Union Board for the initiative, and to Synergy Video for providing the wonderful vision that we enjoy. A wonderful way to spread the game to those who aren't able to make it. And to all those having their grand final parties, cheers to you. Hope your team's doing what you're expecting them to do. Hope you're enjoying the day. It's been a great day. There's been some tremendous rugby played here today. If anyone missed the previous scores, the third grade went to the Coomera Crushers over the Griffith Uni Knights, 10 points to 7. And reserve grade went to the Helensvale Hogs, 20 points to 13 over the Griffith Uni Knights. So some tremendous rugby in the senior men's. And the girls in the under 13 women's sevens grand final, it's pretty convincing to Coomera, who took it out 33 points to 15 over Nerang. And in the under 15 women's, Nerang won 14 points to 7 over Coomera Orange. And the under 17 girls was taken out by Coomera, 21 points to 14 over the Griffith Uni Knights. So good representation from Coomera here, having teams in all of the women's finals. And so Richard King has been given 10 minutes into the naughty chair for a dangerous tackle apparently. And so the Hogs in possession and driving through here and looking at going to get over the line. He's over the line, he's over, and it's a try to the big fella. It's a try to Finnegan, so the Hogs are back on the board. And that's a wonderful effort. That's a good try from the Helensvale Hogs there. They won't lie down, the Hoggies. They'll keep going all day, and hopefully their fitness will see them right through to the end of the game and make this a real contest. We've got to be very close to half time here, and so that's a very handy try to pick up on the stroke of half time there from the Helensvale Hogs, and really well done. The thoughts with Hayden McCaw there, the Helensvale Hogs captain, who was taken off on a stretcher. And hope that he'll be okay. Pretty durable fella for not a real big fella. He certainly can take a good tackle, and he always puts his body on the line, as you saw there with that high ball contest with Connor Kennedy just a few minutes ago. And Scotty Stokes has missed that conversion, unfortunately, so score will remain at 24 points to 12, and there we have half time. So 24-12 to the Knights at half time. Both sides down a player for the rest of the match due to a couple of red cards, and then we've also got Richard Kingy just sitting down for 10 minutes for a dangerous tackle.
Services, Radio Metro, and a thank you to all of our local clubs here on the broadcast.
So at half time here we've got the Knights leading 24-12 over the Hogs in the Gold Coast first grade competition being played here, grand final being played at Bond University here in the Gold Coast. Thanks very much to Bond University, tremendous facility you've got here, the ground's in wonderful condition. I'm sure the guys are enjoying playing on it. Really good facilities here at Bond University. So thanks very much for hosting us and also sponsoring the day. Thanks also to BLK, the WIN Network, Wallstrom Financial Services, the Bond Uni Rugby Club, Radio Metro, Synergy Video, TFH Hire, Urbis and All Sports Travel. Wonderful support of today's grand final, and thank you to all of those sponsors for your assistance. We really appreciate it. So only 40 minutes of the senior competition to go here on the Gold Coast, and be all over for another year. And been a really good year. Some tremendous rugby, fantastic tries. Oh, gee, we've got some skillful players here on the Gold Coast, and really fortunate to be able to see them run around each week. As a few people have been saying, it'd be wonderful to see a couple of the clubs come back to their former glory. But as it does with all clubs, you get peaks and troughs, and you go through periods of success and leaner times, and so I'm sure those clubs that have enjoyed success in the past will be rebuilding and looking forward to next year to see if they can't be here on at the big dance at the end of the season. So hoping that Palm Beach Alligators, the Bond Pirates, the Rang Bulls, the Eagles, Surfers Paradise Dolphins, Canberra Crushers all recruit well, and we continue to build this fantastic competition we've got here on the Gold Coast. Should also say I hope the Barbars down in Coolangatta Tweed can also build. They've been doing a wonderful job over the last few years. So we're really looking to build the game on the coast, and that will come through having depth in all the clubs and creating really good competitions right throughout the grades. In addition to bringing our juniors through. The Gold Coast District again showing a wonderful initiative and looking to have a Colts competition up and running in 2020, which will just fill that gap and fill that hole of where our boys tend to go off and do other things after the 15s or 16s, and if they really want to play on the coast, in the past few years they've had to travel to Brisbane. So a Colts competition on the Gold Coast will be wonderful next year, and by the sounds of it all the clubs are going to have a team entered, so it should be a great competition, and hopefully that will then continue to build and flow on through to those players then taking up positions in the senior ranks of their clubs, senior grades. Heard a wonderful piece of news during the week too, and that is that the Reds, Queensland Reds and the Melbourne Rebels will be playing a trial here on the Gold Coast. I believe it's at the Surfers Paradise Rugby Union Club. on January the 17th in 2020. So everyone will be looking forward to that. Seeing the Queensland Reds and the Melbourne Rebels have a bit of a run around at one of our local grounds. 17th or 18th of January. I'm sure there'll be plenty of news come out a little bit closer to the date, but keep those dates open. There'll be a Super Rugby trial on the Gold Coast in January. So just about ready to kick off for the second half here of the grand final. And so by the looks of things, Josh Havia will be restarting here for the Knights. So here we are, we're restarting again, and Havia gets us started again, taken down there by the Hog 6. And Sean Finnegan taken, out it comes to Brunsden, but it's been intercepted there by the Knights player. Taken to ground, so the Knights recycle. Oh, and he's taken pretty hard there, and Pierre Holler is out there. And that looks like Tassie Jones, who's maybe made a tackle out there, and he's a wonderful defender, Taz Jones. And there's another big tackle by the Hogs, and haven't they come out pumped up in this second half, the Hoggies. But there's going to be a penalty, and it looks as though it could be offside, I think, maybe here. Welsh is, yes, it was offside, unfortunately, for the Helensvale Hogs. So Mitch Scott Young steps up and puts the ball into touch there, and that's found touch just inside the Hogs 22. And so Caleb Kingy's going to be throwing into this line out. Down here, and shadows have stretched right across the ground. And throwing to the line out, looking in the middle. Martorella taken, beautifully taken there. As Seb Gallagher it was. Popped on the inside to Caddison Graham, who's caught there by the Hogs. But the Knights on attack down here in the 22. Out it comes. That's Caleb Kingy by the looks of things. He's having a bit of a roll forward. And caught there. Chris Manby's on there at halfback for the Knights. And it looks as though we've got a penalty here for the Hogs. And Scotty Stokes is stepping up here. We'll be looking for touch over on the far side. And he's found touch, and that's a good kick there from Scott Stokes. He's found it just short of halfway, on the Hog side of halfway. And Frank Kawana will step up here and throw into the line out for the Hogs. We'll see this straight down the middle, and they've taken it cleanly. Stokes Out to Willie Todd, straight up. It's taken pretty strongly there, Willie Todd. Stokes at 6, and that's a really nice pop ball on the inside. The Finnegan boys combining there. Stokes gets it out again. Whitney Satine, he's taken the need to get around him there. Scotty Stokes gets it out. Pierre Holler, former Tongan international, pops it out wide. And who's that? Finnegan, Jack Finnegan up, and he's got the winger in tow. Oh, geez, been caught there, and unfortunately, by the looks of things, and that's, I think that may be Arapeta Bedgood over there. But the Hogs have got a penalty. Looks to be holding on over there for the Hogs against the Knights. And so they've started quickly, and they're going to spin it all the way out to the side. And the 14 is Tastaruma, who's passed it to Frankie Kawana. So Hogs going to keep coming this blind side, the 1. Jade Brunston there. Caught. So Scotty Stokes, Kawana. He's been taken pretty heavily there, Frank Kawana. Stokes at the back. Looking to come down this side again. And that's spilled there by Willie Hunga. That's a real shame there for the Hogs. So the Knights have got possession and are going to look to so we're going to have someone injured here and a knee that's not looking too good. So referee Welsh just stops play. And Hogs on the attack down here. 24 points to 12 in favour of the Knights at this stage, and about 5 minutes into the second half. Yep. Sun slowly setting here on the Gold Coast, but a beautiful day for rugby. Still a lovely temperature, it'd still be 24, 25 degrees. Not a bad winter we have up here on the Goldie. So scrum here, and Chris Manby, the replacement halfback for the Knights, will be feeding the scrum. Twisted it, he's fed it off the back there, and that's a lovely step up the inside, and he's through. But it's been taken. Pierre Holler's taken the ball on the inside, and it's come back. Finnegan picks it up, and now there goes Willie Todd. Is it out there? Still going, still going. Oh, and they've knocked it on, unfortunately, the Hogs over there, but a good attacking raid. It could be coming back here for a penalty to the Hogs, and it comes back there. So Hogs on the attack here, and getting close down to the try line. And sorry, we got some people upstairs just rocking the camera a bit, but they're on their way now. So should be all good. So bear with us there and try not to get too seasick with this rocking camera. People having a good time, but not helping. So we've got a line out here with the Knights to feed. Caleb Kingy's going to be feeding this line out, and he goes up the back, and it's gone over the top actually. So Hogs are looking to clean up, but it looks as though it's a knock on there. And so the Knights will be feeding this scrum. The Knights currently leading 24 points to 12, second half here of the grand final. Both teams down to 14 men.
I know, but it's really going. Thanks, guys.
So it looks like we've got some subs coming on here. One of the big props. Someone getting replaced. And well taken at the front there by the Hogs. So Stokes at the back. So to Pierre Holler. Taken to ground there, Pierre. Stokes at the back. Oh, and that's a big hit there. And he has been smacked, and I think that might have been Willie Hunga who's been on the end of a Knight's shoulder. Gee, that was a strong tackle. And obviously a tough boy. He's up and about and still healthy. So Kingy rejoins the fray after spending 10 minutes in the sin bin. So they'll get some structure back again now. Kingy looks as though he may be going into the fullback role after Connor Kennedy having to go off, and so Kingy looks as though he's going back to fullback. So Scotty Stokes throw into this scrum for the Hogs. And it's gone down, and there's a penalty to the Hogs. Knights have been penalised for collapsing there. And the try's been converted there, and so now we've got a game on our hands. Knights 24, Hogs 19. So 24-19 to the Knights. And still got 25-30 minutes to go, so plenty of time left. So Stokes at the back there looking for, and it's over to Tarima. I believe Taz Tarima's got that ball. Not, it may have been Jason Young. Out it comes, Pierre Holler puts a kick over the top, and he's looking, and the Hogs player looking to, and his kick had a good kick on it there. Richard Kingy's going to clean up at the back and look to reel off some territory, but it's not going out, and it's taken back there by 14, which is Taz Tarima, who's passed it on. Pierre Holler's got his left boot on it, and he's gone up and over to Blake Griffin, and that's well taken over there from Blake Griffin. However, referee Welsh has found the Knights to be offside, and so the Hogs have got a penalty right on halfway here, and it's pretty fortunate for the Hogs. So what an exciting grand final we've got here. Both teams really giving everything, and by the looks of things, Blake Griffin may have touched that ball. Not that it'll make that much difference. And there's some good territory peeled off there from Scotty Stokes from the Hogs, and they get a line out well down into Knights territory. So the Hogs have certainly come out in this second half with a different attitude, and they're bustling, and they are going to really look to give it to, and here goes Jack Finnegan, the 13 for the Hogs, and he's run over the top of Richard Kingy, who's not in good shape, and here goes big Stevie Moore, who's now on the field for the Hogs, and they're really rolling on, the Helensvale Hogs. Willie Todd is through there. Richard Kingy is not in a good way. Gee, that's such a shame. Stokesy just pops one on the inside for one of his forwards, and the Hogs rolling on here. And Pierre Holler gets the ball. He's taken pretty well there in the middle of the ground, but the Hogs have got around it, and they're going to continue punching along that side. And they've still retained possession, the Hogs. It's a little bit scrappy at the moment, but game's going to be stopped here. A couple of Knights players down. Richard Kingy here hasn't moved. Jack Finnegan just ran straight into him. And straight over the top of him, actually. And unfortunately, Kingy hasn't got up. So I hope he's okay. And then there's another player down a little bit further down, another Knights player, who I can't see who it is. And up goes the Hoggies chant. Plenty of support here, obviously, for the Helensvale Hogs, featuring in first and second grade today. Already taken out second grade. And I'll tell you what, if they manage to get up in first grade, there's going to be a decent sort of a party up in Helensvale tonight. Never won the first grade premiership, the Hogs. Been a long time between drinks. And they've been building for this. You know, it's wonderful for them to have made this grand final. All started back in 2012 with another Todd who was the coach at that stage. He's here today apparently, come over from New Zealand to watch his beloved Hoggies. Yeah, he put in place a foundation for the club to build and support their juniors, bring their juniors through, develop a really good culture, and it's exactly what they've done. A tremendous culture up there and a really, really good club. So someone else has been sent to the sin bin, and that's the Tyson Uri, the flanker from the Knights, been sent to the bin. Gee, there's been plenty of people sent off the field today. And referee Welsh. And the Hogs going to be on the charge here and see if they can't get over the chalk. So out it goes. Pierre Holler out wide to Jack Finnegan, but that's a good defence from Blake Griffin, and he's snuffed that try out there, Blake Griffin. That's really good work from the Knights winger. But I think the Knights have got the ball, and he's put a kick up and over the top of the box. Can found touch just on halfway there. So that's good relieving pressure for the Knights. They'll be happy to get out of that end of the field. Hogs are really applying a lot of pressure there. 24-19 to the Knights, and the Hogs crowd is lifted and are really getting behind their team here. Well taken in the middle there, and that was beautifully taken by Caneen. Pierre Holler holds it up there, gets taken in the middle. Stokes, out it comes. Finnegan. Oh no, it was Caneen. Stokes, he's through. Oh! Gee, very close. Scott Stokes are getting through, so Jack Finnegan at the back. Passes it out to the big fella. Oh, down the sideline, but he's gone into touch there, the Hogs winger. So we haven't got an exciting game here. Oh goodness, the Hogs have lifted the second half. And are really bustling the Knights here. The Knights will be throwing into this line-out with Caleb Kingy. So in it comes, and well won by the Knights, but it's a little scrappy actually. They've dropped it. They need to get that clean ball. And they've got a penalty. Looks like someone being off their feet there from the Hogs, and so the Knights have got a penalty and be able to kick out of here. It's a good kick there. Getting pretty excited on the other side of the field there. Not sure what's going on, but it's typical Hogs. They can sniff a win here. They're going to need to get their discipline right, make sure the defence is spot on. This Knights side can score from anywhere. So Knights still got possession and an advantage here. Arms out. Still got possession, the Knights. Tarina McLean in the middle. Well taken. But Referee's going to pull it up for the penalty. Not rolling away there from the Hogs. And Richard Kingy steps up for the Knights, and he'll look to punch it deep into Hogs territory and see if they can't create a bit more space between them and the Hogs again. Only 5 points in it now. And here we go with a bit of the Knights supporters have found their voice too. Really tremendous atmosphere here. Great grand final day on the Gold Coast. Caleb Kingy going in, he's gone in the middle, but they didn't jump, so I'm not sure, a bit of a mix up there. They're lucky to keep it there, the Knights, and Javier's got it out to Tuivanovu, and he's been caught. Willie Todd's got the ball here, he passes it off to the 18 who spins it on. So Hunga ended up getting it, so 6 is Finnegan out to Pierre Holler. And that's a good run, and that I think that might be Daly Harper out there, sometime fullback for the Hogs. And that's a wonderful kick down into the corner. Richard Kingy's been caught right down the back there, and they're going to force him back into and they scored. The Hogs have scored here in the corner, bustled through on Kingy, and it looks as though he's coughed the ball up, and the Hogs have scored 5-pointer. Scores are locked up in the grand final. Well. Anything could happen, and who would have thought? The Griffith Uni Knights have really been the form side of the competition this year, having only lost once to the Surfers Paradise Dolphins through the year. The Dolphins ending the Knights' undefeated streak. But since then, the Knights have been convincing all the way through to this grand final. And here we have the Helensvale Hogs, certainly the underdogs here today, and they are just playing out of their skins, the Hogs. 24 all at this stage with a kick to come. Scotty Stokes will be looking to push this over. It's out pretty wide, but the wind will help him a little bit here. So we see how he goes. And he's converted it! Scotty Stokes has converted it from the sideline, and the Hogs are in front, 26 points to 24 here for the grand final. Well. What an exciting game we've got here. 22 odd minutes gone in the second half here of the grand final. Restart by Richard Kingy. Down to the Hogs, and it's taken by Pierre Holler, I believe, there. So Hogs recycle. Stokes out to Daly Harper, he's out to Willie Todd, who's going to come wide, out to Taz Tarima, who's got a bit of pace, but he puts it on his boot, and he's looking for open space, and Richard Kingy cleans up and passes it over to the 23 there, and that's Chris Manby. But Manby's been caught in the middle by the Hogs. Kawana slowed his progress and then was assisted by someone else. And the Hogs have got a penalty holding on. The Knights are in all sorts here. The Hogs are bustling and playing out of their skins. They can smell a victory here. Gee, there's 15 odd minutes to go, and you can hear the Hoggies crowd go up. They're excited. 15 odd minutes until a absolutely groundbreaking result for the Hogs, and that's a beautiful kick, and hasn't Scott Stokes just stepped up here with his captain off the field. Scott Stokes, the Hogs vice captain, has stepped up, scored a wonderful conversion from the sideline before. He's just put a penalty kick over into the corner to set up for an attacking line out, and the Hogs have tried a little short one and unfortunately knocked on. So that's a real shame. Pressure off for the Knights. And we're going to have some representatives, some reserves come on, and one for the Knights. We're going to have a scrum down here. Knights to feed. What a tremendous game of rugby this has been. Thought the Knights might skip away with it a little bit there, but the Hogs have stayed strong, not given up. It's given a wonderful pep talk at half time, and have come out in the second half and really been switched on and playing some fabulous rugby and really serving it up to the minor premiers and last year's premiers, the Griffith Uni Knights. All three grades represented here for the Knights in the grand finals. Just an indication of just how strong the club is. But they haven't got a win here in the senior men's today, and so we'll certainly be looking to turning this score around and getting up in first grade to take this first grade premiership. And that's a tremendous kick there from the Knights. Gee, that's a good touch finder, and takes them up 15 metres, still inside their own half, but it's a really good kick there from the Knights. Good pressure relieving kick. So 26-24 to the Hoggies, and we've had about 26 odd minutes gone, so 15 odd minutes to go. Maybe taken a little bit high, but allowed to go in. Stokes, Holler, little ball over for Tarima, and Tarima's going to, and Richard Kingy again has put his body on the line. And he's not good. Richard Kingy put his body on the line to clean up that kick, and Taz Tarima coming flying through. He tried to put the boot to the ball. I'm not sure what's happened to Kingy here, but he doesn't look in really good shape. I hope he's a hard man though. He's been down on his back a few times today and continues to bounce up and keep playing. The Knights will hope that continues, as he really is the orchestrator of their game. Steers the side around beautifully. But a fair amount of concern being shown here for Richard Kingy, and we really hope that he's okay. So another very quick mention of today's sponsors: Bond University, BLK, Win Network, Wallstrom Financial Services, Bond University Rugby Club, Radio Metro, Synergy Video, TFH Hire, Urbis, and All Sports Travel. Thanks to all of those sponsors for today's grand final. So Kingy's sitting up, which is a good sign. Now he's getting up to his feet, and that's a really good sign, but it looks as though he'll be going off the field. And he has been a wonderful effort. What a player. What a player, Richard Kingy. I hope he's okay. Good to see that he's walking. So the Knights, they're going to have to do a bit of a shuffle. Their backline, but it's going to be a Hogs feed into this scrum right on the 22 down the Knights end of the field. And so Stokes, a wily Hogs halfback, scheming with his flankers. In it goes, back it comes for the Hogs, but the Knights have twisted around and had a penalty go against them, the Griffith Uni Knights, and so the Hogs will have another opportunity here. Interesting to see what they do. Standing captain Scotty Stokes is going to go for the line and keep the pressure on and see if they can get 7. So going for 7 points here, the Helensvale Hogs, and you can hear the chant go up from the Hoggies faithful. And they are pretty excited over there. Look out Rugby Lane in Helensvale tonight. Beautifully won in that line out. So back it comes now. Back of the maul there. It's Whitney Satine and the big fella. And he's over. The big replacement prop is over. The Helensvale Hogs have gone over on this far side of the field here, with big Whitney Satine driving over. There was not much going to stop the big fella that close to the line. That's a tremendous try from the Hogs. Takes their score to 31 points with a kick to come. Gee whiz. Now we're going to see a bit of history here. Anything could happen. 12 or so minutes to go. Hogs 31, Knights 24 with a kick to come. Scotty Stokes got his kicking boots on this afternoon. Let's see if he can put one in from this side of the field. He steered one over the crossbar from the other side on the way out on the sideline. If he puts this one over, he might get the keys to Helensvale actually. He shapes up to kick. Stokes comes in, they charge him, and he's got his kicking boots on all right. Oh, it's short. Gee, I thought that was over. Bad luck. Tremendous kick there from Scott Stokes, and unlucky not to convert, so the scores remain at 31 points to 24 to the Helensvale Hogs. So a try is all that's in it. Josh Sevilla steps up for the Knights to restart the game here. As the sun disappears over the hill out the back, and taken by Whitney. Oh, and Caleb Kingy bounces off Whitney Satine, and Hogs retain possession. Stokes backs out to Pierre Holler, puts a boot on it, comes out to the 22. It's going to be taken in the middle there. Taniela Tuivanova done really well. Again, no concern for his own body. Real gutsy effort there from the Knights winger. Finnegan has just absolutely smashed Tyson Uri, I think, from the Knights. And the Hogs are bustling. Stokes around. And Caddison Graham there possibly, or maybe even Javier again. So Chris Manby at the back of the Knights ruck there, spins it out. Is that Mitch Scott Young who's put the boot on that one? Oh, gee. And the Hogs are throwing it around and throwing caution to the wind, but the Knights have defended really well down there and pushed the guy into touch, looking for a quick play on. And so we'll have a line out down here with a Griffith Uni Knights to feed. I reckon they didn't agree with that decision over there. So Caleb Kingy to throw into this line out, looking for one of his jumpers. Up goes 17, and that's AJ Campbell. Out it comes through the backs. Caddison Graham busts the first one. First tackle really tight. Out it comes. The 5 is Kerrod Martorella caught there. He got through the first tackle, and they're going to keep coming wide. Josh Havia spins it out to Taniela 2 of an over, and he's put it on the inside. Havia's got it back again, and they've wrapped him up there. Unlucky there for the Knights. I thought they were going to be able to sneak in for a try. Oh, that's a really good tackle from the Hogs to save a try, but referee Welsh has got his arm out for a potential advantage. Knights retaining possession on a rolling forward here. Oh, but there we go, and there's the penalty awarded by Nathan Welsh, offside by the Knights. Sorry, by the Hogs, and so Knights down on the Hoggies try line and looking to even up the scores. It's been one of those days, as you'd expect on grand final days, 2 very evenly matched contests coming right down to the wire. I thought we'd have to play a couple of lots of extra time in both grades, but in both other grades, but they managed to get a result. If we do have a tied score at full time, it will be 5 minutes each way of extra time, I understand. So Caleb Kingy throwing into the line out, and it's gone over the top, and it's taken at the back there by the Hogs. That's unlucky for the Knights. Oh, gee, Jay Patton going over the top. Big Stevie Moore having a run into the middle. Scott Stokes gets it back to Pierre Holler, who gets a wobbly old kick, but it's out. And he's found touch over here, Pierre Holler. Be about 10 metres outside the Hogs 22. That's a pressure relieving kick from the ex-Tongan international, Pierre Holler. Now a Hogs player, coach, mentor. Another tremendous servant to the game. And Hogs very lucky to have him as part of their club. So Caleb Kingy throws into this line. They've got this one, but no, they haven't. They've tapped it, and the Hogs have played on, but Jack Finnegan's picked it up, and he's bounced off the first tackle. Jay Patton's managed to get a shoulder on him and stop his progress. Pierre Holler again wraps around the back, puts the boot on, and he's Fantaniella 2 of an over has gone through the hands there. So the slippery winger picks it up again, and he's put the boot on it, and it's heading over the touch line, and Daly Harper lets it roll over the sideline there. And so the Hogs will get a throw into this line out, 17 or 18 metres, and inside their own half, and right in front of their very vocal supporter base there, the Hogs. Wonderful, passionate supporters, Lonsdale Hogs. So we got Frankie Kawana, Dewey throwing in here, beautifully taken there, and that looks to be one of the Finnegan boys. Beautifully taken the ground. Stokes, Holler, spins it wide, Finnegan. Oh, he's held on to it, Jack Finnegan, and he's going to be caught there. They need to get around him, the Hogs. Stokes at the back, he's giving it out, and they're up pretty quickly, the Knights, but he's bounced off that tackle, and so they continue to roll forward here, the Hogs. Stokes at the back, out to Holler. Another one of his little kicks over here. Taz Tarima looking to regain, and the Knights winger has got away from Tarima, and Willie Todd has got a beautiful cover. Oh, and that's forward. And that's a beautiful bit of defence there from Willie Todd, the 50 gamer from the Hogs. Good work from the number 12, getting congratulations from the halfback and now captain Scotty Stokes. So they've got maybe 5 or so minutes to last to hold out the Hogs to make a bit of Hog history. And how exciting is this? What a finish we've got here. So right in front of us, this scrum's going to be packed. Scott Stokes coming back, looking around, seeing what's going to be in front of him. Manby will be all over him though. He's a quality half, Chris Manby. So looking for a big scrum here. In it goes. Back it comes. Oh, and that's behind them there. And but managed to be cleaned up by Daly Harper there from the Hogs. Taken in the middle by one of the replacements. Stokes gets it at the back, gives it to Holler. Holler passes it out, and we come out to the 18, who is Elliot Aisthorpe, who gives it on to Tarima, who flicks it back on the inside. He's going to need to let go there, the Knights player. Ball still there for the Hogs. Back it comes for Stokes. Stevie Moore, it's popped out. Knocked back, says the referee. Pierre Holler puts a boot over the top there. It's going to be taken out there by the Knights replacement. Taken on the full, and listen to the Hog supporters baying for a penalty of some sort. The Knights retain possession. Caddison Graham. Oh, he's bounced off the tackle. He's such a strong runner, Caddison Graham. Ran into the shoulder of Andrew Caneen then, I think. And here goes Havia. And let him go. So the Knights looking to roll on. And still retaining possession. Mandy at the back. Out it comes. Caddison Graham looking for a runner. He's gone out wide. Caleb. Is that Caleb Kingy? I think out the side. Here it is. The hooker's been caught. Caddison Graham at the back. Back it comes for the 7. Tyson Uri. Uri, strong ball player. Still with the Knights. Manby. Out forward. It's Scott Young, but it looks as though it's been knocked on there. And the Hogs are bustling. Yeah, playing a bit of advantage here for the Hogs. Straight through. Josh Havia's gone straight through here. And the Hogs are going to have to be careful. The Knights will be peppering their line until the final whistle blows. Caddison Graham, strong run. And Tanella, 2 of them over, has knocked it on, but we're going to be coming back here for offside. The players out on their feet. What a tremendous game they've brought us today. Thank you to all the players from both clubs for a wonderful game of rugby today. 31-24 to the Hogs, with what must be only a couple of minutes to play. So 40 minutes up on the scoreboard. So now we're into purely injury time and replacements. Fair bit of time was spent with a few injuries, so probably got another 5 minutes or so. But gee, how exciting is this? So Knights on the attack, down in Hogs 22. Caleb Kingy throwing into the line out, looking for a jumper. Up goes Martorella. Back it comes, but it looks as though they've knocked it on. The Knights, and there it is. The Hogs have won it. Can you believe it? The first time in history. And congratulations, Helensvale Hogs. 2019 Gold Coast District First Grade Premiers. First and second grade premiers today. Congratulations to the Hogs. And congratulations to the Knights too. put up a really wonderful fight today and have been the team to beat all year this year, but just couldn't they were out enthused by the Hogs today. And there you have it, Hogs Premiers 2019. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll see you next year.